I'm Natasha Hritzuk, and I head up Insights and Analytics for Microsoft Advertising. So the panel this morning was interesting. I was on the panel with my colleague from Facebook and Google. Three quite different companies focused on quite different things, but the issues that we face are all pretty similar. I mean, in measurements, obviously, one of the big strategic areas of focus from a research perspective. And the two areas that well, I mean, I think the one area where all of us are putting time and energy into is the whole notion of GRPs, and GRPs as a valid unit of measurement for digital. And there's different points of view on, whether that's the beginning and the end of the conversation, or if GRPs are literally just a way to get a seat at the table with traditional media. I mean, my view is that from the client's perspective, most decisions are made through, most media planning decisions are made, and media spend decisions are made through marketing mix modeling. And if digital doesn't speak the same language as traditional media, we can't be inputted into the models, which means that we're not at the table when the planning discussions are happening. So from my perspective, the GRP discussion is important. Does that mean that there aren't other metrics we shouldn't be, are there other metrics we should be ignoring completely if we get the GRP piece right? No. I mean, brand metrics are still important. Offline sales are still important, but the GRP piece has just been missing for too long, and that's the currency that traditional media speaks. So that was one interesting discussion that we had. A second point that was discussed, which I think is really, really important as well, is the relationship between the platform that you deliver the advertising on and then the content. And I guess because we're sitting on the side of the business where we're selling platforms that you serve ads on. So in the case of Microsoft, it's the mobile phone, it's Xbox, it's Admira, which is our television offering, and it's our digital platforms like MSN and Hotmail. There's a tendency to just focus on these platforms and measuring whether these platforms delivered the offline sales that the client's expecting. And actually, the platform is important, but the content's also really important. So you may have a brilliant platform. MSN may be the best possible, or Xbox may be the best possible vehicle for advertising in the digital world. But if the creative isn't coherent and doesn't tap into the unique qualities of that platform, you may not actually get great offline sales because there may be some sort of dissonance between the message, the content, and the platform. So one of the sort of big takeaways for me was, and something that I'm pushing really hard for, is that you've got to understand the unique properties, the unique characters of each of the platforms. So mobile is a very, very different platform than digital, which is a very, very different platform than Xbox, which is one of our gaming properties, which is a very different property and platform than TV. Each taps into a different consumer mindset, delivers different needs, and I think the content and the messaging needs to be adapted to those platforms. And I think when you get that synergy right, then you really will see great offline sales or great ROI.
So actually, let's pick up on that. So you're sitting down at the table with a big brand that says, we want to spend $25 million with you, and we want to do some on the Xbox and some on MSN and some on mobile and some, wherever else. What are you telling them about, here's how we think you should approach the Xbox versus mobile versus portal versus something else?
I guess the gist of it is that the history that we have with each device, so TV's been around a lot longer, so people have a different sort of approach and relationship to TV. So with younger audiences, it may be taken for granted in a way that it isn't with older audiences who have just had it as part of their lives for a long time. With younger audiences, I think it's easy to take it for granted if it's been a part of your life for a long time, but by the same token, it's sort of a presence in our life, whereas digital is quite new and quite jazzy and exciting, I think, for older audiences, and we're maybe not 100% comfortable with, we've kind of used laptops as work devices, and using a laptop as an entertainment device is kind of a new way of thinking about a laptop, whereas for younger consumers, the laptop and the TV have been a part of their lives since day one, so they see them in a much more interchangeable way. So I think there's some key and interesting and subtle differences there in terms of the different role that these devices play. I mean, we did interesting stuff around using Jungian archetypes to understand what the mindset is and the sort of psychological dimension of the relationship is, but that I probably need to be cautious about talking about, since we'll probably have an embargo on the research for a few months.
Okay. But picking up on your young person who has only known the laptop as an entertainment device, and an older person who, you know, has been creating spreadsheets on it for the past 15 years and now is actually watching movies. So if you were sitting down with one brand that's a retirement planning brand, like a mutual fund brand, and another brand that's maybe more targeted at young people, like a gaming company, would you coach them to do different things on, for example, the laptop for the older audience versus the laptop for the younger audience?
I think from a pure targeting perspective, yeah. I mean, from a content perspective, that's maybe a separate conversation, but from a targeting perspective, I mean, I think if you're going to reach, I think if you're going to reach if you want to reach younger people, if you don't have a digital campaign, odds are you might miss a huge chunk of the population you're trying to reach. I think actually, I think that older people do have more of a tendency to watch TV, so you're going to increase the probability that you'll reach them if you've got a TV campaign. But I actually think seeing them in a silo, I mean, my personal perspective, and based on what I've seen with the research that we've done, is that actually the synergies between TV and digital are greater than each platform can deliver on its own. So I'd almost recommend in both instances that you have a campaign that flows across both screens, because I think to miss one entirely, you're making the assumption that you're not going to touch the audience with one of those two platforms, which I think is probably not the right assumption. So if you think from sort of a basic level, from a frequency perspective, if you hit consumers with the same message but in two different mediums, you're going to increase the chance that people are going to remember it because they've seen the ad twice. So from a pure frequency perspective, having your ad on two different platforms is beneficial. It's maybe a bit simplistic.
Actually, sticking on that, because I mean, I've talked to other people where it's like, you hit somebody on TV with your ad and then you hit them online, there's actually incremental brand lift. I mean, what do you see?
There is incremental brand lift. And in fact, we've done some econometric modeling and actually seen that if you advertise, if you run an ad simultaneously on digital platforms and TV, digital increases the efficiency, increases the ROI of the TV ad. So you actually get a boost on TV from running a digital ad simultaneously. So running the two ads concurrently increases the efficiency of TV. The ROI on digital is high. The other thing that we found is there's obviously a wear-out period with TV campaigns. So after a certain point in time, you're not going to actually generate any more like brand uplift or any more sales from a TV ad. And actually, if you're running the ads simultaneously or in conjunction with digital, digital actually extends the period that extends or limits the period. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the right frame of this. Extends the period that your TV ad will be relevant by 7 days. And this was a modeling piece that we did in Europe, actually. I think we looked at, I can't remember the exact number, something like 152 different CPG campaigns. So just to reiterate, the synergies between TV and digital are huge. Digital boosts the efficiency of TV campaigns. You get very, very high return on, we see higher return on investment on digital versus TV. But I think the key isn't, my personal view is that the debate shouldn't be about TV or digital. It should be how they work synergistically together. And so what our study showed is that there are huge efficiencies for TV when you bring in digital, and actually the ROI is stronger for TV when digital is in the fold. And secondly, it extends the shelf life of the campaign when you're running TV in conjunction with digital.
More and more dollars are going into kind of online video. So can we talk specifically video and just kind of your, like, what are you doing any research specifically on video?
Yeah, we do focus on video. Basically the display business is huge for us at Microsoft. We've got Bing and search, so there's a focus on that as well. But the display business is where we're putting a lot of our energy. From a research perspective, my team's we've been around since January, so we're just slightly over 6 months old. So this year we haven't done unilaterally a huge amount of work around video, but one of the things that we've been doing for 3 years running is working in partnership with Viviki, and they have what's called the pool research. where you basically look at different ad formats, different video formats, and different, I hope I'm not getting this, it's one of the ladies on my team who runs this, so there may even be a contextual element that I'm not certain of, and then you basically look at the impact of ads. Each pool represents a different format. So one pool may be 15-second spots, one pool may be, a banner ad, the other pool may be a different format, and you look at the impact of each of those formats on driving a particular behavior or outcome. So we've been doing that. We're just about to launch, I think, our 4th year doing that research. And display is obviously a huge part of that research. We're also just about to kick off some research that we'll be launching at Adweek, looking similarly at how different formats drive different outcomes and the triggers along the way that take people down one pathway versus another. And of course, we're looking at the platforms that are unique to Microsoft and interesting to Microsoft, of which video predominates in the different formats within display.
Where do you see the most growth for Microsoft over the next couple of years?
Okay, and when I say probably, I shouldn't exaggerate the amount of money that we're putting into display, but we focus, we're focusing our support, we're focusing a significant amount of support around, my analytics team is focused primarily on display. So the analytics team is using our internal data resources to explore the impact of display. I think for Microsoft, I think Xbox is really the wave of the future for us. Bing is also, doing really well, and there's a lot of interesting new applications that we're exploring in Bing. I don't want to say that, the portals aren't important, search isn't important, but I think Xbox is a really exciting new vehicle for serving ads.